this new Thursday stream of Las Plumas de Simurgh. My name is Plumas and I am delighted to be here to throw some light about a very controversial topic. Not that controversial. I wanted it to be controversial, but it is definitely not controversial at all. It's just a topic that's been bothering me and continues to do so since I started my learning of the Iranian artistic background and art history. And this is something I've been asked quite a lot, and this is something I think it's required to be clarified, not because it's hurting anyone directly, but it is hurting my eyes and my brain, and it horrifies me that this is still out on the blue. So yes, today we shall uncover the topic of their topics, which is the identity of our dearly beloved Eustaquio. Who is Eustaquio? Where is Eustaquio? How is Eustaquio? Why is Eustaquio? We're going to answer all the questions, hopefully. And if we do not answer all the questions, at least what I want to do is, again, clarify some stuff that you see you identify what you see, and you understand the next time you're out on a museum and dwell around the Iranian art and archaeological halls. What is it what you see in? And this is a creature that has been so poorly treated by art history, because to make the long story short, in case you don't have much time to stay for today's stream, we've eradicated the identity of one of the most important icons of Sasanian history and art history. We don't know who Eustaquio is, and that's entirely our fault. And the internet, as per usual, does not cooperate, because when does it? Hello, Umberto, the mistress of myth. Apparently so. Apparently so. How are you? How was the trip? And are you fully recovered? And today, I am not alone. I am not alone in here. You know, the Jinn are always with me. Diego is somewhere around, whatever he pleases to be. But also, on that corner over here, we have Luffy. D-Monkey Luffy, none other than the future queen, I was going to say. No, Simurgh is queen. The future king of pirates. I'm really sorry, I got distracted because, of course, every time I click on go live, 124 motorbikes come and pass down my window. And that distracts me because I am that kind of person. I get distracted by noises. The trip was lovely and I'm looking forward to resting, but work never ceases. Yeah, I know. But I'm very happy that you could join us, because I think you, of all people, you would really love what's coming. And you couldn't, I think I'm betting you've seen this image quite a lot during the composition and recording and investigation for your podcast, so you think you can roll past, yeah. So let's just dive right into the meat and potatoes, the feathers, the claws, the fur, and the scales of today's topic, because this is going to be something else. Hi, thought, how are you? Oh God, that dancing thing is terrifying. What is that? Is that a worm? The more I look at it, the more horrified I am. What is that? Dorud Sohrab, how are you? Oh my God, that is upsetting to look at. But let's just not. I want to start today's stream by doing something very simple but quite enlightening about why the situation and why research should be delivered into the rest of the public and the list. This is something I say every single time. History and art history belong to all of us. They are ours. And the job, the task academics are entrusted with, allegedly, is to deliver that knowledge into the common of the people, because many of us are not prepared, and I'm including myself in there, and many of us are not prepared to interpret properly what we are seeing after a thorough art historical investigation. But that is a task of researchers and divulgadores. This is a word we don't have in English. I don't know why, but we don't know a word for that. But if we go to Google Images and we type Simurgh, we see a lot of things. we see a lot of things, and we see a lot of dogs for some reason. Winged doggies, like this one over here, this one over there. Also, this creature, which is, I actually don't know what it is. Then also a doggy here and here. Oh, Rose, thank you so much for that subscription. Let's go, Eustaquio. Yes, please. Let's go, Eustaquio. He's a celebrity in this channel. I mean, rightfully so, because he is just fantastic. And today I will try my best to explain to you why he is fantastic and why it's so important that we recover his identity, whatever that might be. Okay, so we see a lot of things, and none of them, almost none of them, are Simurgh, because this is Simurgh over here, this is Simurgh over here, and this is Simurgh over here. This supposedly is Simurgh. This is in Uzbekistan, but let me show you. This one over here is again allegedly Simurgh. Oh, thank you. Sovereign of birds. We're not gonna dive into the content of this, but what we see here is a lot of dogs. Why? And most importantly, we see this. These creature. What is this? And if we follow the source, we will find Simurgh official Wikipedia page, and we find this creature not once, but twice, and thrice, and 4 times, and then only over here, just down here, we have Simurgh in the Shahnameh and the rightful Simurgh. Oh my god, Nosotros, thank you so much for gifting that to Dracon. I don't think Dracon is online, but thank you so much for that. Oh, that is so lovely. Thank you, you helped me a lot. Oh, cheers. Please, but chat, could we have some teacups on the chat for Nosotros, my dear Vizier, and day after day, everyone else's Vizier. First, Las Plumas de Simurgh, then the world. The world's your oyster. Thank you so much, Nosotros. Cheers to you. Hi, Serapis. How are you? It's been a while. How are you been? How are you? And wait. So Nosotros sent me a picture of standees, of some paper standees, and he made about of Eustaquio and Spawn. In case you're very new to the channel, Spawn is my favorite superhero by Todd McFarlane, if you know something about superheroes. So yeah, Spawn is carefully and warily watching Eustaquio from his position in hell. Not good. We are in the middle of an electoral fraud and a quasi-civil war. I'm so sorry about that, Serapis. I've heard something in the news, like I read something, and I'm not in the rightful place to speak, but the only thing I wish is for you to be safe, so you and your family to be safe, and if you can keep on posting us about how you are, that'll be great. And from here, honestly, we hope that you stay safe, and you have Discord, and you have us, your bacha, to talk to in case you require it. And I'm really sorry that I need to abruptly change the subject, but great, that is fantastic. That actually relieves me a lot. And I'm really sorry, I'm not trying to be insensitive, but we're going to focus as much as I would love to talk to Serapis. I would do this over once the stream is off, and we are going to jump into what we have over here and today's topic, which is Eustaquio. Hopefully, Serapis, I will entertain you for roughly an hour or so, and we will finally learn who is this creature. I was saying that you need to scroll a lot to find the Simurgh that we know and love and adore, because she's Queen of Heavens, which is Simurgh in the Shahnameh. So I'm going to just make this a bit bigger for you. Is that good? A wee less. Okay. So, again, you would understand how this is upsetting for me, because there are so many things that are wrong, inherently wrong in just the first paragraph. And I've been saying that I will sit down and edit the Wikipedia page, but I never bring myself to do that. Maybe in the future I can do that live and I can do that with you. But this is what we're working with. It says Simurgh, also spelled Simurgh. No. Simurgh is a benevolent bird in Persian mythology and literature. Okay. That's correct. Great. It bears some similarities with mythological birds from different origins, such as the phoenix, the Persian cuckoo. Wrong. Inherently wrong. This is not correct because cuckoo has an entire different behavior, origin. And for starters, cuckoo is of Arabic origin, nothing to do with Persian. And then Homer. Homer is a bird, yes, of Persian origin, the Iranian literature, this Iranian pre-Islamic Iranian mythology. Homer is there, but they have nothing to do with Simurgh, not cuckoos, and definitely not Homer. Aside that they are birds and they can fly. Oh my god, cousins. First cousins. And then it continues, the figure can be found in all periods of Iranian art. Wrong again, and literature, and is also evident in the iconography. And hold your horses, Catherine, because this is where we kill it. The iconography of Georgia, medieval Armenia, and the Eastern Roman Empire, and other regions that were within the realm of Persian cultural influence. The only thing I can think of right now is Amy Winehouse song, Rehab, and the part that says no, 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 because absolutely not. No, nothing in this paragraph is correct. Then why are they saying this? There must be a reason, because people, people are unreasonable, but there must be something they are just, grasping and grabbing to. Hi, Glenn. To explain something like this and justify something like this. Indeed, my dear Bachar, because they're not talking about Simurgh. They're talking about this. They're talking about this gorgeous, beautiful image that I call Eustaquio. Okay, first thing that we must learn for this stream and for understanding properly what happened with this iconography and Simurghs in the middle. Something that we need to learn is that we don't have Simurgh until the 11th century, Common Era. There is no Simurgh at all until Ferdowsi finishes his Shahnameh, and now Simurgh is created. There are pre-configurations of Simurgh, and we can trace her background, traces and features that she collects in other birds in the past. We saw that when we were talking about Saena and Berethregna back 2 weeks ago. I think it was 3 weeks ago when we talked about birds in the Avesta. But that is different. A pre-configuration is not the same bird, because Simurgh, the only Simurgh that's really her, is the one in the Shahnameh. Simurgh is a character within the Shahnameh. That's it. And then, from that point onward, she transformed into something else as she appeared a lot in Sufi literature and in Sufi philosophy. Yes, but prior to that moment, prior to the writing of the Shahnameh, there is no such thing as Simurgh. Never was. So why? Why this? And how do we mix up this with this? How does it happen? Oh, well, let me tell you what, it happens because people can't stop peopling, and because of a mistake in a series of catastrophic events regarding translation, this innocent creature, this lovely symbol of whatever it was in Sasanian art, got mistaken and was considered to be something he never was, and he was never intended to be. Today we shall discover why that happened. So, are you following me? First thing, Bacha, remember, there's no Simurgh until the Shahnameh is written. One thing is a pre-configuration of a mythological figure, and the other, very differently, is the character we attach to the name. That happened with a lot of people, for example, Rostam or gereshaspa or gereshasp. It's just a lot of them. So, did you remember 3 weeks ago we were talking about something connected with the sen bird, with Saena? And we mentioned that it was translated as a creature having 3 natures in the Bondahisin. They seem alike as an egg and a chestnut, which is something we say in Spanish when two things do definitely not look alike. They look alike as a chestnut. They are similar as a chestnut is similar to an egg, which would be the equivalent to they look like chalk and cheese. That's the that's the main thing, because trust me, the ancient knew how to distinguish a freaking dog from a bird. Trust me, they did. Okay, so I'm not going to all right, yeah, I can. So this is correct. The Persian word the Persian word Simurgh derives from Middle Persian Senmurgh, which means the bird sen or Saena. The Middle Persian words comes from the Avestan Meregosaino, the bird Saena, Eniga falcon or sparrowhawk, yeah, and from the etymological cognate Sanskrit sienna, raptor, eagle, or bird of prey. And then we have these, which is also true, that Attar from Nishapur back in the 11th century, 13th, 20th? Yeah, in the 13th century, Attar from Nishapur created, when he was writing the speech of the birds, the conference of the birds, Mantero Tair, he made this pun with the name of Simurgh, because Si means 30 in Persian, and Murgh means bird. So the 30 birds conform Simurgh. If you haven't read Mantero Tair, I would strongly recommend it. There's a good translation by Peter Davies, is it? One moment. Peter Avery. Peter Avery, that is the one, not Peter Davies. I was mixing up Dick Davies and Peter Avery, and of course someone else. So yeah, by Peter Avery, that is a fantastic translation. And this part is correct indeed. So now we need to talk about the bird Saena, and I'm going to leave Eustaquio here because Eustaquio, can't I put you in the middle? Just shot like this one over here. Is this how? Okay, there we go. We're gonna leave Eustaquio like this because Eustaquio is wonderful to look at. Oh, also, I think I should say this before carrying on. Why is it I call him Eustaquio? Because I want to. That's it. Eustaquio, sit. Siéntate. Pata. In all honesty, he looks like he gives the paw and high fives and plays dead, and he does all the tricks. Because we don't know what this creature is. Any name could be a good name, so I chose to call him Eustaquio. But more on that a little bit later. Eustaquio is a fantastic name if you ask me, and you're more than welcome to call him whatever you wish. In this corner on the internet, in this mountain of Twitch, we're going to keep on calling him Eustaquio. So, let's go back to the bird Saena and the 3 natures thing. So the name Senmurgh is a composite word that is formed with the Pahlavi word Sen and Murgh, which mean, Murgh means bird. And the translation of Senmurgh would be literally the bird Sen, which is connected to, we've seen that, Meregosaino. And this comes from Sanskrit. What is that? Eustaquio is now a player character in my D&D campaign. Is he really? Is he that? Did you have this Eustaquio on your D&D campaign? I'm so bloody proud of you. And, sorry. And basically, Senmurgh, and the word is very important, Senmurgh is another way of saying in Pahlavi the bird Saena, the Sen bird, because Saena can also be written as and spelled as Sen. And the mention in the Zoroastrian text of these birds, of the Senmurgh, were described in some translations as the one with 3 natures. The literary sources would be, we're going to discuss them, but then, given that Saena and Sen are the same name and the same bird, I'm going to keep on calling it Saena, saving you some some trouble. But yeah, just I want you to know that Sen and Saena are equal. They are the same bird. The confusion with these three natures originated from a mixture of scripts in the preserved manuscript of the Indian Bundahisan, which preserves both Pahlavi and Pazand forms. The Pazand is another form of writing, and when referring to Saena, Saena is called the largest, the biggest, as in size, not as in the magnificent, but in size, the biggest size bird. And in the Pazand, there's a way, I'm not going to give you all the details, but I want to, from here, say thank you again to all the linguists and philologists, I don't know how to pronounce that word in English, and all the experts in language in Avestan and in Pahlavi that helped me with this, because I couldn't have done that without them. And value your linguist, hook a linguist today, and just love them, because they are fantastic, and they provide with such invaluable knowledge. These part of my thesis, because yes, we're reading from my thesis, it couldn't have been possible without them. So I'm not going to give you the full language ingraining, and just we're not going to untangle all the threads from this knot, but the language in Pazand is corrupted, and the term has been misread and therefore wrongly translated. The original spelling, which is something, it spells like W-Y-N-K, in Avestan refers to the finger, the claws that birds have. And in Pahlavi, that word, the W-Y-N-K, means finger or claw, talking about, the talons of a bird. However, and that is that W-Y-N-K, this finger thing, is how you find the script in the Iranian Bundahisan. This is the spelling for the Iranian Bundahisan. However, in the Indian Bundahisan spelling, the Pazand has been corrupted and has been written D-W-Y-N-K, and that means class, nature, or category. This Pahlavi word is a spelling, this Pazand word, is a spelling mistake, a retranscription of the Pazand that can't be translated again to claw or paw. In his version of the Iranian Bundahisan, one of the authors, and Kasaria, one of the translators, chose the word finger for his description of Saena. This interpretation of the bird of three natures derives from a misread of the word claw as the word nature or class. That's it. That is the origin of hell, because you've seen it. You cannot go on the internet without learning that Simurgh was a dog at some point, but I'm getting ahead of myself. To add salt to this soup, to spice things up a little bit, Saena, being next to the bat in the description of the animals, did not help at all, as the bat was described as a composite creature belonging to three different species, and this information was thought the same for Saena. Which, no, the three natures of the bat, and those who sustained the hypothesis, were that bats breastfeed the offspring as mammals, fly like birds, and live in holes like muskrats. But that was never said about Saena. Of Saena, the only thing they said was, like a law of birds of prey, it had claws, 3 talons. That's the only thing it said about Saena. And by reading closely both translations and original works, it can be seen that Saena share one thing, which is the breastfeeding of the offsprings. However, the text does not seem to indicate that Saena belonged to the 3 different species at all. Saena was never a composite creature. Saena was always a bird. A big bird, but a bird nonetheless. And this is why it's so important to go to the sources, to the original, because one of the translations states clearly that the one with the 3 natures is only the bat, just the bat. However, the other translation presents these 3 races of the bat But there's no mention to Saena having any of these three races or natures that the bat has. The transcription mistake derived into the development of what could have been considered a whole new creature. I'm really sorry. Eustaquio, forgive me. It's Saena the eagle Shahin? Nay. No, the eagle does not feature in Zoroastrian texts. And from what we learn about Saena, reading the mythology, the bird is not Shahin. Shahin is a different name of calling an eagle and a larger bird of prey that you find later in Iranian literature. But no, in this case, there's no connection between Shahin and Saena. And I'm sorry. Then something occurred. And this is that while these investigations were taking place, this image appeared so often in the Sasanian iconography from Central Asia, all over. This was extremely popular. And what occurred that the transcription mistake derived into the development of what could be considered a whole new creature linked to Iranian mythology, helped by these precise iconography, by Eustaquio's iconography, especially from the Sogdian area. And then people started to call these the Simurgh. This was a Simurgh, aha, they thought, because this is the representation of the three natures of a bird. Sorry. The final thought was the belief of Saena being, a composite creature in the minds of the scholar, whereas there are no solid facts at all in literature that can back up this idea. There's nothing ever. However, the misconception was backed up by a non-exactly well-allocated iconography, which is Eustaquio, proposed as the evolution of the archetype of Saena as the following. Saena, a bird, Simurgh, a freaking dog, and then Simurgh. Do you really expect me to believe that people knew that Saena was a bird? Because we know Saena is a pre-configuration of Simurgh. We know that for a fact. I mean, Simurgh has a lot of things that Saena also had. But are you expecting me to believe that people back in the day knew what a bird of prey was? Then at some point, during the rise of the Sasanian dynasty, they forgot what a bird was and looked at these pucci and thought, oh yeah, that's a bird. Has wings. Flies. Bird. Yeah, bird Saena. And then, centuries after, the Iranian illustrators and the painters of manuscripts were like, oh yeah, bird. Ta-da! Seriously. Who bought this idea? This is utterly ridiculous. Oh my god. Oh god. This is a beautiful plate, by the way. So these Simurgh appeared like sort of a dog bird beast, and this is remarked as a preconfiguration for Simurgh, addressing these never existing three natures, which do not even match when comparing literature and mythology and iconography. This information is mistaken, and Saena never took the shape of anything else that was not a bird. It was never a composite creature, and definitely not a dog bird. Is this me discovering gunpowder? Of course not, because this has already been proved as a wrong theory. The three scholars, Matteo Comparetti, Simone Cristoforetti, and Gianroberto Scarcia, disproved this relationship between the three natures iconography and the so-called Simurgh in Sasanian art. But do you know what the infuriating part it is to me? That you can see Simurgh written in museums, and I'm talking about top-notch museums. I'm talking the British Museum, I'm talking the Louvre, the Metropolitan Museum, the freaking Pergamon Museum in Berlin. These people should know better. This is not Simurgh. This is definitely not a bird. This is not a bird. For crying out loud. It's a dog. It's a puppy. Oh yeah, it definitely looks a lot like a Pokemon evolution, if you ask me. So I'm going to leave all the reference to. I'm going to leave, and when I post this, I'm going to post on Discord also the articles by Simone Cristoforetti, Gian Roberto Scarzia, and Matteo Comparetti, if you want to read about it. But you need to learn this. Hyena was always conceived as a bird, and the references throughout all the texts where it's mentioned describe it as a bird, like the falcon type. Do you really think this was a falcon? No. And it is compared to other creatures that are birds of prey, like Berethragna, who is, of course, the asset of victory in shape. And these 3 fingers is not to be, it's not to be interpreted correctly, because it's just not correct. The 3 natures over here would be, and hold it, that this part belongs to a dog or a lion, therefore is a mammal. Then it has wings like birds, so it can fly. And then we have these parts, which I have seen being described as a peacock tail, like a bird, but most importantly, to really insert it into the 3 natures theory as a fish tail. Therefore, it can swim, it can fly, and is also a mammal. There you have it. Ta-da! The 3 natures. Simurgh. Dear Jin is definitely not. And to me, this is really, really upsetting, because again, if we go on Google search and we look for Simurgh, a lot of modern products, of course, they're going to consult Wikipedia. And on Wikipedia page, you see this. And everything's incorrect and mixed up. It's awful. It is terrible. These goes as far. Just let me walk you through this, okay? Because this is angry plumas. This description goes as far as giving a stupid interpretation of what is depicted on the plate. This is a Samanian Simurgh platter, 9th to 10th century. Okay, 9th to 10th century, and it says Simurgh can be interpreted as 30 birds, which is correct. This play depicts that interpretation. Attar of Nishapur mentions this interpretation in the poetic book Conference of the Birds. Conference of the Birds that was written almost 200 years after this plate was made. But definitely, Attar is the first one to make the pun. But first, I said 13th century. I apologize to you, Attar. There's a lot of dates in my head. This was made in the 9th or 10th century. Attar from Nishapur was not even alive. Why do you claim that this is Simurgh representing the 30 birds? Which 30 birds? Are you blind? These are not birds. Look at them. These are little Eustaquio. There's a big Eustaquio over here. And then there's a lot of Eustaquios, tiny Eustaquios around him. What is it that you do not see? This is how far sometimes people, and scholars more precisely, would go to make things fit into their own theory. But what happened in here is that we got a perfectly, beautifully tailored image and something that I was connected to possibly Sasanian royalty, or at least, the higher circles of society, which was these creature. These creature was extremely popular. It is true. We can find it on textiles, on wall painting. We can find it in silverware, in gold plates. So these should tell us something. Matteo Comparetti already explained what he believed these creature was. I'm not going to enter that area because that would be a wee too much. But just learn that I'm just the deliverer of something. This is not my original research whatsoever. I just put in my thesis that we should stop calling this what it is not, because we are eradicating these creatures, the symbol's identity. Because we are, que le dice y dice, we are upsettingly intense about these being a prefiguration of Simurgh, when we know this is not. We are detaching, by doing this, we are detaching this creature of its real importance, which, again, apparently was great, because it's always depicted in something related to kings. I mean, over here, this is one of the painters at the Avraziav mural in Pansy, Kent. In let me just go, where is the modern country? It's not Uzbekistan, is it? It's Sogdian art. And where are they? Oh yeah, they're in Uzbekistan. Umberto, did you go to see this? So this is Sogdian art, and you can see that this ambassador is wearing one Eustaquio, not one, two, three, 4, 5 Eustaquios, 6 Eustaquios. This is gorgeous. This is so beautiful. And he's wearing them, displaying them on his coat. There must be a reason for that. I'm afraid I didn't get to see that one. Or the next room. Yeah, and there must be a reason for that. This creature is extremely important, and it also can be seen and spotted next to Rostam in this mural, from Panziket. Because in case you did not know that, the story of Rostam and Afrasiab and Turan is not originally Iranian. That comes from Central Asia. And we are just denying that mythology and that symbolism. We are saying no to that because we prefer to encorset this little creature into something that we do not know properly, apparently, because this is definitely not Simurgh. Absolutely not. And the upsetting thing is that you see, again, we were talking about before, is that you see modern products creating Simurgh, and they go to Wikipedia and see this. And what is not to like about Eustaquio? This is a cool creature. This is so wicked. You would, of course, want to include this with this shape, the face, the claws, the wings, the tail. You would like to include it, these features, in your comic, your video game, your novel, and you're entitled to do so because it's not your fault. You truly believe that this is Simurgh. So you have the story of Simurgh and Zal, and then Simurgh is depicted like this. But that is so wrong because we don't know who Eustaquio is. We know he was very important for Sasanian royalty. That's for certain. We know that it was widely depicted. And apparently, it appears also in the Eastern Roman Empire, in Armenia, in Azerbaijan. It says in medieval Georgia, which I don't know. Did you speak about medieval Georgia? That I just know. I'm going to Google that. Simurgh Georgian art. Let's see what we find. See, you have Eustaquio all over the place, but we've denied this creature of its identity because we chose to. Oh, Jesús bendito de mi vida, un husky. Oh. See, this is so popular and so beautiful. Possibly, and this is on my own theory. This is modern, by the way. This is a reenactment of a modern thing. Can I? Oh my god, this is beautiful. Eustaquio. Ah! I love it. I love it. Look at that. This is beautiful. This is so pretty. Look at this. I'm going to leave it like this. Okay, so these probably, and this is my own interpretation, possibly I am recycling what I read from Comparetti. This was a creature connected to Far, to the glory, or at least the right to rule high ranks of society for certain, because we encounter this in palaces and in both architectonical and artistic what's the word I'm looking for? Environments. That's the word. And archaeological, architectonical, and artistic environments that would be connected to the ruling class, if you know what I mean. Not everyone would be wearing this, but the Pahlavan, I mean the leaders, the military leaders, princes, ambassadors of tremendously high status. So definitely this was a symbol connected to power, to luxury, and to money. This was not everywhere. And I want to show you. How can I do this? I can spell this. Henji can't. I'm really sorry. Okay, so this is Sogdiana. This is the area where Eustaquio was most popular and found. And I really want you to look at the map. I mean, this is the Iranian plateau. This is the heart of the Sasanian Empire. And this is Sogdia. And this is the rest of Central Asia. Eustaquio originated here. This is not a Sasanian original creation. And most probably, looking at the looks of Eustaquio, what I want to think, but I might be incredibly mistaken, what I want to think is that it is connected to all the composite creatures that we've seen in prior mythologies. This derives from a larger and more ancient tradition of composite mythological creatures, and I am thinking about this giant umbrella we use to denominate the Saga tribes. I wish I had more knowledge to enlighten you about it, but this is definitely what Eustaquio gives me vibes of, that these creatures, these composite animals formed by dogs or lions. What do you see in Eustaquio? Because I see a dog. What do you see in Eustaquio? Do you think he's more a lioness or a lion, or is he more like a doggy, like a puppy? But yeah, definitely this composite creatures with wings. This is something, the wings sprouting from the shoulder is something that, true, we've seen all over the Fertile Crescent and all over Iranian art. The Achaemenids also use this. This tail could also be another element from, to me, it looks more like a bird's tail rather than a fish. So these will be a creature connected to the skies and to higher realms. But again, what I want you to stick with, and I want you to remember, this is not Simurgh. There is no way. So next time you go to a museum and you see this, and you see these poorly identified as Simurgh, because that is the thing. It's like, oh yeah, it's not Simurgh because Simurgh is the one in the Shahnameh, but because it's the ancient one, it is Simurgh, and that is awfully wrong. And I wish I could go museum after museum explaining to people why they should not do that, and why we are missing out an entire chapter of Sasanian royal iconography. We are truly missing out, and that is so sad. That is definitely sad, because this creature could have a story. This creature could have even a name, and he is stuck with my poor sobriquet, which is Eustaquio. It's a pup, a winged pup with hooves, a lovely creature, but not Simurgh. I like the pup with hooves, yeah. Can you imagine? Maybe it's not a he, maybe it's a she, or a them, and I don't know, and I am just here imposing my stupidity on it, forcing him to accept his new identity as Eustaquio. And but all drama aside, I hope that you understand what I mean by forcing us to believe, or like maintaining this wrong association between these figure and these character. What we are doing is denying part of a mythology that is there, and denying the creator's own importance, because again, these happened and occurred so often in art that it must have meant something. It's not casual, it's just not a coincidence that this is found everywhere. However, I'm not going to say we will never know, because definitely we will know over time, and this is a subject I keep on reading consistently. But we need to start from the basis, and the basis is that we need to fix this, because this is a bloody disaster. And oh look, there she is. She's beautiful. And where's the icon in here? See, the code d'armes, it says include Simurgh. She's not Simurgh. We're fine, but she's not Simurgh, definitely. And this is Simurgh. This is not Simurgh either. This is Roch. But again, who am I to say? Who am I to say, right? And Oh my god. I'm just looking at this and considering properly sitting the references and just fixing everything and yeah, I know, Sohrab, I know. Everything in Persian for Simurgh shows Eustaquio, but he's not Eustaquio. But now you know, and you can tell people, you can help, clarify or just blow out the mist around this topic. Yeah, Plumas is going to complain. Plumas Hanum has a lot of things to say because Plumas Hanum never shuts up. But definitely, I have things to say, and yeah. Remember, oh my god, yeah, I like this one. This one, and the better. Yo, oh my god, this is upsettingly small. I have a copy of this at my house. I can set up a box on High Street and spread the word of Eustaquio. Umberto, please don't do that because I would like you to not be. I would like you to come visit again, and if you are in prison, you cannot do that. All right, let's go with this one. I have a point, I promise. Just there you go. Remember, very important. Simurgh. Eustaquio. And possibly Siena. Why can't I see the pictures big? Wait, I'm trying to make a point, dear internet. You're not making it easy for me. I can't see the bit. Oh, this is gorgeous. This is gorgeous. Okay, there you have it. So. Ah! Wait. ¿Qué he hecho? Ya la he liado. There you go. Okay, so. Remember. Saena. Something similar to this. Eustaquio. Because we lack a better name. Simurgh. And these creatures are not the same. What have we learned today? That Simurgh never existed prior to the finishing of the Shahnameh in 1010. That Saena was always conceived as a bird of prey, even though she was large, even though it was the biggest of them all, even though it suckled the offspring, however you may put it. But it was always a bird. And that this is not Simurgh. It's absolutely not Saena, non Simurgh. There is no such thing as a three natus. It was a big mistake of interpretation. And we call him Eustaquio out of love. And hopefully that threw some light and that helped you clarify what these incredibly important, because I don't want you to think that I am, taking any kind of importance from Eustaquio because he is not Simurgh. It's like, I'm not saying that he's not important because he's not Simurgh. No, absolutely not. What upsets me is I don't know who he is because the world, the academic world, has forced me to believe that this is a pre-configuration for Simurgh based on a mistake of translation. And I know he's not. And I would love to know who he is. I can only glimpse a bit or interpret or wonder where he could have been. But until that moment comes and I am better informed, this remains as Eustaquio. So now, if you see, to me, the most important thing is that you, Bachar, are educated. Because this is a mistake. This is everywhere on the internet. Every YouTube video that talks about Simurgh shows this image. every infography. There was a very famous one. Was it called Mr. T Persian Mythology or something like that? This, oh my god, this image is to cry all over, because it says Mr. Peace Mythopedia presents the Huma bird. What the hell is this? Simurgh. Oh my god, this makes me cry. Camrouge. Again, a winged dog-like creature. Where did you learn that from? Camrouge is a bird? This is the thing. This is what happens when we do not go to the official sources and we do not contrast our sources and what we're reading, because everything in here is awfully wrong. Well, actually, not everything, because Raksh is a horse and Kaveh is a human, and Rostam could definitely look like this. This is not Zahok at all. Shabrang was a horse. Kayumars was not the first person. Kayumars is not the first person. My God, he's not. He's the king of the mountain. And this is, do you see my point? This is upsettingly wrong. And if I knew anything about Photoshop or anything, I would do my Plumas de Simurgh Mythopedia, being some figures within Persian mythology, and I would do a better job. Not because I'm smarter, not because I'm better, but because I've cared enough to be informed. And internet is extremely dangerous for those things. So now you know that whenever you see these image and these words attached together, they're wrong. Hell, they're not even consistent, because it says giant, benevolent, phoenix-like bird in Iranian mythology. Honestly, does this look like a bird to you? Does this look like a bird to you? Because if it does, the conversation needs to change entirely. And this is awful. This is awful. And what I wanted with this stream is to inform you, to prepare you. Whenever you find this and this together, you know this is wrong. And yeah, I remember I wanted to do a video like this since I saw this, because this is extremely popular and extremely disseminated. It is an image that's been around for a solid 10 years, I believe. So, Uloko, is that you? Now you are Why Loco? Iranian mythology just doesn't have a large enough audience in English to have an accurate internet representation. Yeah, well, that must change. La oveja pelleja, could Eustaquio be something like a griffin at some point? Not really, because a griffin is the opposite way, isn't it? Like the face is of a bird, and the hinder quarters are those of a lion. And I don't think it's and again, it's not right to mix up different mythologies, because a griffin is a bird created, a creature originated in Greek literature and the Greek context. So it fits a certain purpose and it fills specific characteristics. These doesn't, because the griffin, for example, was never attached to royalty and stuff. Oh, you're not verified. I'm so sorry. But it's you, right? It's just so different. Oh my gosh. So different. And I couldn't recognize you. Nah, yeah, I did. So I don't really believe that we could say that. Who was the first person? So the first person is Gayomard. Gayomard is the first person, for crying out loud. That's not Kayumars. Kayumars is a character from the Shahnameh, and Gayomard is his pre-configuration, what came first. And actually, you can find the here for you, Sohrab. Ta-da! And I want to see what people think about this. How do you read the comments over here? I don't think can you see that? Oh my god, you cannot. I'm so sorry. This is Reddit, so I don't think I've ever heard of Persian mythology before. Now I'll have to go down the rabbit hole. Okay. Okay. Oh my god. Oh, careful, careful. We might be getting somewhere here. Yes, let me explain to you. All right, I'm going to answer to Sohrab, and then we are going to dive into this. Okay, Sohrab. So, Gaiomard is an Avestan mythological figure that came before the Shahnameh. What the Shahnameh did was some research about the literary past of Iran and then reconstructed the characters to create new ones. For example, Kayumars. And not only Kayumars, we have also Hoshang, and we have Jamshid, and we have, crumbs with his name, Gershosp, and blah, 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 blah. And there's a lot of people that got, it's like making a remake for a film. They got remade for the Shahnameh, but prior to that, Gaiomard existed, and Gaiomard filled a very important part in Avestan religion and the Avestan belief, because he was the first person ever to walk on Earth, accompanied by the primordial cow. You can read that on Patreon, wink wink, because I wrote we write about that, and we talked about that. Oh, thank you. Oh, thank you so much, Humberto. I also want to vote for myself to design an Iranian faction for the remastered Age of Mythology. Thank you. I postulate myself, and my backers are, for now, Humberto. Humberto's backing me up. Okay, so the son of Simurgh, which I like already, says this is wrong. Kabeh didn't slay Zahak. He started the revolution. Fereydun was the one who slayed Zahak, and by slayed I mean he defeated, because according to the Avesta and Shahnameh, Zahak is still alive and chained in Damavand mountain. That is correct. Fun fact, in the old days, people believed that yellow smokes that come out from Mount Damavand are the venom, and Zahak snakes created them. I didn't know that. Fun fact number 2, the first flag of Iran is named after Kaveh, the Rafshe Kavijani. Yes, that's true. Because Kaveh made a flag out of his robe, and after that, every king added a big jewel to the flag. Charbrouche, this bird kills whoever that wishes to harm Iran and Iranians. That's correct. Raksh, his skin have yellow polka dot. Also correct. Fun fact, mother of Fulat Zareh was a witch who made Fulat Zareh invincible, and in Iran we call tough woman Modare Fulat Zareh, mother of Fulat Zareh. And Fulat Zareh is this. Supposedly, this is a Pokemon. This is not Fulat Zareh, this is a bloody Pokemon. Oh my dear lord. And another fun fact, Eshdaha comes from Ajidahaga, and in Avesta, Zahag is described as a dragon with 3 heads. Is there another response to this? Is it about the Rafshe INE? Oh, you're a plug from Chakravorty's Deva trilogy. Oh, yes. Let's do a thing. Oh, I love this. The reason that Farsi is still a thing is the dude who wrote the Shahnameh. The dude. Oh my god, I love the internet. Oh my god, look at this. This is hilarious. I'm sorry, but the Karkadan, I read it as Kardashian. The Kardashian, the king of the desert. Oh, can you imagine? That is bloody hilarious. Yeah, the Kardashians were of Iranian origin, and the internet told me so. Ferdowsi, el pana, el colega. The reason I ask is because Gaiomard is my favorite design of Sasanian seals. That's more available Sassanid seal. So that's Gaiomard. Kayumars, same as Simurgh. There is no Kayumars until Ferdowsi finishes the Shahnameh. You need to understand that these are 2 different characters, even though they are remakes of the same things. It's like remaking the films of Superman, for example. It's like remaking Spider-Man. We also, okay, the Spider-Man one is a good one. You know that Tom Holland is the newest Spider-Man. But the original Spider-Man comes from a comic book made by Stan Lee ages ago. But then we had also Andrew Garfield, who was another Spider-Man, was remade, and there was another timeline and another narrative to it. Also, Andrew Garfield is my favorite Spider-Man, in case you were wondering. No one wanted to know that, but I wanted to tell you. And then we also have, I forgot the name of the first one. Can you tell me the name of the actor? Like the first Spider-Man in 2001. Is he also Tom? No. Oh my god, I forget. You know, fairer hair, blue eyes, very cute. With a very like nice looking face, as in noble face. What's his name? What's the name of the actor? Tobey Maguire. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Tobey Maguire. So we had Tobey Maguire, we have Andrew Garfield, and we have Tom Holland, and Eustaquio knows we will have more. All of these characters built up in a previous created character but made by Stan Lee, which is the original source. In this case, Guy Omar would be the original Spider-Man made by Stan Lee, and Kai Umar's would be Tobey Maguire or Andrew Garfield. Also more or less the same, but with a very defined characteristics, specifications, and context, which is very important, but I always remember the context. So, Eustaquio, luz de mi vida, corazón precioso. This is where we're going to stop, but now, you know who he is and why he is not Simurgh, which is the most important thing to learn. And yeah. I can't believe I compared the King of the Mountain, the first man, to Spider-Man. I am so proud of myself today. Everything I've made and done in life has taken me to this very instant, and I am so happy about that. So, which I really hope that helps you, that showed you. And yeah, the British Museum, the Pergamon Museum, the Louvre Museum, the Metropolitan Museum, and Inigo knows how many more need to watch this stream, because it is upsetting going about those museums and seeing these things wrongfully identified. It's something I really, really suffer as an art historian, and also as according to you, a Simurgh expert. But we will get there. We will get there. But I have something to say, says No Soy Ross. Nicholas Hammond was the very first Spider-Man in 1977. A very good year. Sorry, I did not know about Nicholas Hammond. Of course, we can have Nicholas Hammond as Kai Umar's. I promise you. Do you forgive me? Do you forgive me, No Soy Ross, for my incredible mistake of not including Nicholas Hammond? A teeny tiny island of truth in a big ocean of confusion. Thank you so much, Oloko. That is actually a super big compliment, and I am taking it because thank you. That's really cute. So yeah, but yeah, unless you have any more questions, my question stands. No Soy Ross, do you forgive me? Could you ever forgive me? Nothing to forgive, thank you. What I was going to say. Oh yeah, that this is everything I have for you today. Unless you have questions, you want me to clarify anything else, we can leave the stream as finished. And don't worry, we will continue talking about Eustaquio more and more, because I intend to, continue educating myself to bring you something like what was the rest of the research? Who could Eustaquio possibly be? And Eustaquio is extremely popular. When I know that this stream is long overdue. It's long overdue, but quoting one of the best films made in the 90s, life finds a way. And that is not always something positive, because life gets in the way. So I apologize to my patrons, because I know you've wanted this stream for a very long time. But here you have it, and I hope you enjoyed it. And yeah, unless anyone has something to say, like I object or something of the sorts, we are going to conclude, and we are going to close this beautiful Thursday stream. Thank you so much for coming with me, Bacha, to sip on some now cold-ish stream tea. My God. Oh, thank you, Uloko. One of the reasons I made this stream is because now I can point people towards somewhere in my channel whenever they ask about Eustaquio, or whenever they say, oh, is this Simurgh? I've read this is Simurgh. No, it is not, and let me tell you why. Again, as a disclaimer to myself, the name Eustaquio is a given name. I chose that name because I think it's hilarious, because I like how it sounds, because it's an old person's name. An old man name in Spain would be Eustaquio. Umberto, does Eustaquio exist in Italian? Because it has this Italian je ne sais quoi about it, at least for me. And yeah, that's it. That you can call it whatever you want. One of my friends, the reenactment project, Elano Turan, Nadim, he calls Eustaquio the pseudo Simurgh, but I don't think that is correct, because it's not pseudo Simurgh. It is not Simurgh, period. It's not pseudo. It is not almost Simurgh. No, it's just not. Hey, Sandwich, long time no see. Haven't seen you streaming for a while in English. You know what? I haven't stopped. I continue to do my streams bilingual forever, but I've learned that a lot of people do not get the notifications anymore, and I think that is because Twitch is attempting to punish me because I'm not here that often, or at least not as often as the platform would like. But I don't mind. I would recommend you to join either Discord or Telegram if you want to keep updated, keep being updated about when I go live. But yeah, I haven't stopped. I never stopped streaming in English, and I have, the Bachar over here can prove that is correct. So yeah, if you're interested in following up with the content of the channel, then absolutely join Discord, Telegram, or Patreon. You can join Patreon as a free member now. Did you know that? And yeah, it's like a big social community. Maybe even a primitive website with a streaming calendar would be helpful. I tend to forget myself. I give notifications over Telegram. That's the reason why I, recommend people to follow, because I'm not always following a schedule, because life finds a way. So then when I go live, I just post it as in like, hey, I am live now. And since Twitch apparently is not giving out the notifications, I am. And that's it. So yeah. Que mi atasco. So thank you so much, Bachar, for joining me today. I hope you've been entertained. I hope that you had a good time, and I hope you learned something that perhaps you did not know an hour and 16 minutes ago. As always, it's been a pleasure, and I cannot live without reminding you to never stop creating, exploring. Sorry, I was something popped up again. I am easily distracted. To never stop creating, exploring, and having lots of fun. Until we see each other next time, I bid you all Khodafis.